Hey there, how are you guys? So, the Spider-Man reviews, they continue. Let's talk about Spider-Man 3. So let's get started. Where should I even start though? In Spider-Man 3, we see that there's revenge, there's a continuation of romance going on. There's this black thing that comes from the sky into the ground and starts to follow Peter and MJ. So the black experiment thing that comes from the sky into the ground that follows Peter to his apartment, he noticed that his Spidey outfit, his Spider-Man outfit, has a black attire to it now. It has a black attire on it now, and yeah, he's like, oh, this seems kind of weird, but it looks cool. So yeah, it's pretty convoluted. There's different plot points in Spider-Man 3, so it's hard to explain one of them. But yeah, basically there's some new villains like Sandman and Venom, which was poorly done, but I'll get to that in a minute. Well, not really a minute, but later on in the review. I don't know. It's a pretty convoluted plot, indeed. Spider-Man 3 just there's a lot of things going on in different subplots. There's different subplots in Spider-Man 3, and it's hard to explain to stick to one of these plots. It's hard to stick to one of them. And I find that to be very convoluted. It's a mess. Complete mess. Yes, you find out that Peter slash Spider-Man went after the wrong guy who killed his Uncle Ben, Yeah, you find that out that the killer is still loose, like he's still out there. The killer that killed his Uncle Ben is still out there. Spider-Man has to go find him, basically, and it's basically a revenge story. So yeah, as far as the plot goes, yeah, that's pretty much the plot for you guys. Okay, let's talk about my thoughts on it now. Okay, now this I did see in theaters. I did see Spider-Man 3 in theaters back in 2007. I yeah, and yeah, that was a heck of an experience for sure. I guess I really liked it back then. Like I really liked it for what it was. I was a lot younger. I was probably in like what grade was I in back then? Huh. I was like in maybe fifth grade back then. But yeah, I was a young kid back then. I saw it, and uh, there was a lot of, and I watch it now, and there is a lot of things that are wrong with Spider-Man 3. Indeed, it's not a bad movie by any means. It's not a bad sequel by any means. It's just there's a lot of things I do like about Spider-Man 3, but there's also a lot of things that I don't like about Spider-Man 3. And one of the biggest ones is the introduction to Venom. One of the biggest problems, one of the biggest issues with Spider-Man 3 is the introduction to Venom. How can you screw that up? How can you screw up one of the most iconic Spider-Man villains of all time, Venom? Like he was fantastic in the comic books. He was fantastic in the cartoons. Like Venom is awesome. Like, how can you screw that up? I don't understand. How can you screw up Venom? One of the most beloved villains in Spider-Man in comic book history. How can you screw that up? You only have him like you just shoehorn him in here. You like Sony, like you guys forced Sam Raimi to shoehorn him in here because Sam Raimi did not want Venom in Spider-Man 3. If you guys don't know this, Sam Raimi's original intention was to only have Sandman to be the main villain in Spider-Man 3. But no, Sony just had to get their little hands too deep into Spider-Man 3 and just shoehorn Venom in there. It's so frustrating. Why they just presented Venom that way? That is not the proper way to present Venom. He's amazing in the cartoons. He's amazing in the comic books. How can you screw that up? It's way beyond me. It's so beyond me. Now, I have no problem with Topher Grace being Edward Brock. I have no problem with that at all. Bryce Dallas Howard plays Gwen Stacy, okay? Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard. And Gwen Stacy is in here, and really, to be honest, both Gwen Stacy and Edward Brock had almost no reason to be in this movie, like at all. There was like no purpose to having Gwen Stacy or Edward Brock in here. If the focus was primarily supposed to be on Sandman, then stick to Sandman. Now, I will admit that this was not Sam Raimi's fault. It was Sony's fault for getting their stupid little hands inside of there. I mean, I love Sony, I love PlayStation, I love all their products, but man, Sony, you screwed up here. Like, that was not a proper way to present Venom in any live action Spider-Man film ever. And now they're attempting to put Venom in another live action movie now. I am just hoping that they do not screw it up again, because if they screw it up again, nobody's going to trust them ever again. Because the primary focus was supposed to be solely on Sandman. He was supposed to be the main villain, and well, he technically is the main villain of Spider-Man 3, and it's just got ruined. It's got so convoluted because they wanted to shoehorn Venom in there. Venom did look kind of cool, but he could have looked so much better than what he was in Spider-Man 3. He could have looked so much better. Some of the CGI work towards the finale of the film just was so bad. It was awful. I mean, like some of the CGI that I tend to notice, like that was in the final act, was horrible. Like it was absolutely awful. I mean, it was really noticeable too. I mean, when you go back and watch it now, it's like super noticeable now. So I know you guys want me to talk about this because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are begging me to talk about this now. Yeah, I mean, because this is what this movie is really known for the most. This is what people always talk about and rant about all the time. So I figured I'd just talk to you guys this what I think about it now. So yeah, uh, there's this scene where, oh boy, okay, yeah, where Peter is doing all these dancing moves like oh boy, oh my gosh, that was bad. Like that, like there was no purpose to those scenes. Like what? like is like was that just shoehorn end, or was that supposed to be funny, or just we see Peter being a douche, just being a huge douche and doing all these dancing moves and all this stuff. Like oh my gosh, man! Like that scene is comedic gold, but it's bad. It's a bad scene, but it's just I think it's fun for comedic purposes. But hey, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I just think it's out of place. That scene just feels out of place, and I just think that it was totally unnecessary to be in the movie. I thought it was totally unnecessary. It just didn't need to be in the film. Yes, that's what this movie's known for the most. But hey, whatever. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Doesn't it, I just think it feels out of place and doesn't need to be really be in the film. So yeah, I will admit that there were some touching moments towards the final act of the film. Where okay, now this is going to be containing some spoilers here, so here are some warnings. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about a few spoilers. So we found out that Harry passed away, and he gets accidentally killed the by the razor thing. Yeah, from the Green Goblin's glider thing. So yeah, and it's very touching and sad to see Harry go. I mean, it pissed off a lot of fans, including myself. Yeah, I just didn't like the fact that Harry died. I thought it was super sad. I mean, obviously it's going to be because, well, I really didn't want that to happen, but it did. Then we get to one of the worst endings, I think, in film history. We get to see Peter going to that club dance thing, whatever it was called, it was some bar or something, and he slow dances with Mary Jane, and that's it. It like the film just stops. It just ends right there. Where yeah, MJ and Peter they just slow dance together. That's it. There's like no conversations. There's no talking. There's nothing going on. There's just them slow dancing together. That's it. It just ends right there. You don't end a film that way. You don't end a movie that way. Any film. I don't care what it is. You just don't do that. You don't end a film that way. It leaves a huge, giant, unnecessary cliffhanger that you're not even going to continue furthering up, furthering, just like why? That ending really, really pissed me off. It really made me so angry. We are never going to find out what happened after that. We are never going to know what happened after that, and that's a shame. Like that's really unfortunate. That's just such a missed opportunity. And I know I'm getting a little bit upset here, but it's true. Like we're never gonna find that out. Like it's unnecessarily like why give us a really unnecessary cliffhanger like that? It doesn't make any sense to me. The ending was cheesy as heck. Like I don't understand. Like I would have came up with a way better ending than that. Okay, now here is what would have been a better ending than what we got. So here's my idea. Well, the idea that I have is that Peter like goes to Mary Jane, of course, and talks it out. Peter could have been like saying to Mary Jane that I screwed up, that like I don't know what I was thinking, that I treated you very wrong, and because Peter was being a big douche about it. He could have been like telling like MJ that hey, I screwed up, I've treated you wrong, like I've been treating you like crap and like just like a douchebag and stuff like that, and they just could have talked it out and then just hugged it out, and I thought that would have been a way better ending, but why would you just end with not saying a single word to each other? You just slow dance, that's it. It just ends right there. Why? I'm sorry, guys. I just had to get that out of my system. So rant over. But anyway, at the end of the day, Spider-Man 3 isn't a bad film per se. Just there's a lot of things wrong with it that could have easily been fixed in Spider-Man 4, which we're never going to have. In fact, Spider-Man 4 was actually in development back in 2008. It was. Spider-Man 4 was a thing. But all the producers decided to cancel the project in favor of a reboot. I don't get it. I don't understand. Why not continue what you've already started instead of rebooting a franchise? Why couldn't you just continue what you've already started and you need to finish what you've already started already? Man, and Spider-Man 4 was going to be directed by Sam Raimi again. It was going to be directed by him, but they decided to pull the plug on and it just didn't go through. I have no idea why. We don't have any idea why. We all want Spider-Man 4. Like, that's a fact. Like, we all want Spider-Man 4, and we're never going to get it. Probably never gonna receive Spider-Man 4. So, Spider-Man 4 would have been great. It would have been amazing if Hollywood actually gave, or Sony actually gave Raimi a chance to do what he wanted. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about Spider-Man 3. It's disappointing indeed, but there are some things I do like about it. I like the Spidey outfit. It looks amazing, especially the black attire. I love the black attire for Spider-Man. I love the black suit. It looks awesome. It looks phenomenal. I love Sandman. Sandman was so cool. I wish they could have focused solely on Sandman, but hey, whatever. Venom looked okay. But he could have easily been removed from here because I just feel like the focus could have been way better on Sandman and his backstory, and you understand where that particular villain is coming from. Because he has a really important backstory, and you really do feel for the villain in this movie. You feel about his daughter and everything. Like that was great storytelling right there. I wish that could have continued throughout the entire film, but it didn't. Yeah, it's a waste of talent. It's a huge missed opportunity. This could have been a much better finale than what we got. It could have been a way better finale. But hey, it is what it is. Things that just didn't turn out the way Sam Raimi wanted it to. You can really tell that Sam Raimi really tried with Spider-Man 3. Wasn't the best finale ever, but it's what we got. So yeah. So Spider-Man 3 gets a C plus. Not a bad film. It just has a lot of issues that could have easily been fixed with a Spider-Man 4, with a fourth film, but we'll never get it. As far as we're concerned, as far as I'm concerned, we'll never ever get it. But yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's a missed opportunity, and yeah, whatever. So what did you guys think of Spider-Man 3? I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. I will be sure to read that. I will be sure to read your comments. I always do. So, yeah. Look forward to my reviews for Drag Me to Hell, as well as the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I will be reviewing those as well, because those weren't directed by Sam Raimi, but they were directed by Mark Webb. I will be touching upon those, as well as Hellraiser. Yes, I want to continue the horror stuff. Continuing horror, because that's what I'm known for. I'm known for horror. So, yeah, that's going to be some stuff to look forward to. Until next time, everybody, take it easy, guys, and take care, everyone.